Right. Definitely, this was a great experience. Weekend, the atmosphere was amazing within the stadium. Like the fan engagement within the game was great. The coaching staff was amazing as always. We can see kind of the ladder going up a little bit because all the 2024s are pretty much committed, and who they have is who they have. So they kind of moved on to the 25 class. They showed me and my family that we were top priority. I mean, they put us right in the front row, which usually only the commits are allowed to sit there. So that was a big deal just to have me up there, just to show me that I'm their top guy that they want. So overall, I enjoyed the experience and enjoyed the game.
David, can you imagine if you took that visit, just you and your mom, or you and your dad? I told your mom this. Like I'm covering that scene every week. There are great players there in that row every week. But I found myself not smiling. I found myself smiling more watching your family just interact and the joy off your faces than probably in a long, long time. Like, what's it like? Like, what are you guys saying to each other? Are your sisters going, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome"? Like, what's
You're
that
right.
like?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because my little sisters kind of really don't get the whole broad aspect of everything that's going on with me, rather like the whole 5 star, number one player in the nation, all this buzz. They just think that's my big brother, and I just want to be all up under him 24/7. So it's kind of funny to see them at the game environments because they're just, oh, look at the day they seen the dog and they went crazy. They just wanted to pet it and everything like that. So obviously, it's pretty cool to have them with me on my visits because I just get to show them like this is maybe where brother is going to be playing. Can you see Bubba play? And then I wear number 70 in high school. So Ava will always point out, like, bro, that's number 70. That's number 70 on the field. So it's kind of cool just to have them with me and to give them that experience is, like, nonetheless, like my little sister, she plays volleyball, theater, and basketball. So she gets an experience that a lot of teenagers don't get already. So when she gets to start to get recruited herself, she'll be kind of, well off in the game. So it's pretty cool to have.
So they call you bro. That's your name, huh?
Yeah, bro.
So I kind of, like I said this a long time ago, because I knew your family, got to know your family. Like, what if all three of your sisters just walk into your room one day and gang up and they say, bro, we want you to go here. And that's it. We want to be there. Like, what's your response to that? What would you say?
I kind of get that a little bit already. Like when we go to certain places, I think mainly they just like the places with the best with the best game rooms. So
Yeah.
they enjoy Clemson and Georgia a lot because they get sent off to the playroom and they just get to play all the games and enjoy the fans and stuff. So I kind of get that now. They kind of understand like we want to go back here, we want to go back there. So it's kind of cool when they say that. But I feel like whatever decision I make is going to obviously be a family decision where everybody wants me to go, and obviously my opinion as well. But if they were to say this is where we want you to go, and obviously you can't go wrong with any of the choices I picked. So I feel like that would be where I end up going.
David, I know Kirby only has time for maybe 4, 5, 6 recruits before the game. That's just the way time works. I know you were in there with him talking to beforehand. Like, what was that like? Was that different than any other conversation you've had with Kirby before?
I've never been in his office before the game, so that was a first for that. So it was pretty cool, just the experience because, like I said, climbing up that ladder a little bit, knowing that I'm the top prospect, I'm the top guy. So that conversation with me and my family was kind of like, "You're our number one guy. We want you at Georgia. Anything we can do for you as far as recruiting wise, don't hesitate to call." Now that we're able to communicate with each other, it's just great to have. But I love Coach Smart. He's very upfront and straightforward about everything you're going to get when you get to Georgia. He doesn't really sugarcoat code much within the recruiting process, and that's really something I really respect about him and the staff.
What'd you like the best about this Georgia visit?
The atmosphere was crazy. I mean, it's nonetheless from anywhere I've been, and like I said, I've been to two of the top Georgia games. So last year's Tennessee game and this year's Kentucky game. So those are two great atmospheres that you don't see every weekend when you go on visits. It's just not there. And then also just the fact that they rolled out the red carpet for me and my family, just to show that they really want us and it's where I should be.
I noticed there was a moment, and it was just you and your dad. And
Right.
like you guys are looking at each other like you got this look looking at your dad like what are you guys talking about there? Are you guys talking about the light show or are you saying like, hey man, this might be it? Like what's going on there?
So for me and my dad, it's a little bit different because I grew up watching these games with my dad. So like seeing it from a different perspective within the stadium is a lot different. Me and my dad every weekend when I was younger, come home on Saturday mornings, watch all the games. I'm like, Dad, look at this. Imagine if I was able to play for Georgia or Clemson one day. I'm sitting here watching on the TV, never thinking that one day I'm gonna be a recruit. being in the stadium. So now it's just reflecting back on those times that we had when I was younger. It's kind of surreal for the both of us. I think I can speak for both of us in that sense. But for me and my dad, it's a great experience. I have a great bond with him. So no matter where we are, we're just gonna have a good time. And I think he's just looking at me, and he's just so proud of everything I've accomplished so far.
Here, so you went to Georgia for like a junior day in March, right?
Yeah.
And then you went back to see a practice in July. That's right.
Oh yeah, we did. Wait, that was in junior day. That was just we just went for a spring practice, and then we went back in July for like the camp
for the camp.
Yeah.
And then you went to this game, Kentucky, and then you went to Kentucky. I mean Tennessee last year, right? So that
yes, sir.
So that covers all the visits, right? 4, I think.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 because there might have been one before the Tennessee visit, like last year. But yeah, it's 4 or 5. Yes, sir.
Was this one the best one?
Definitely. This is definitely the best one. Obviously, the first one was pretty good because I got to see everything for the first time, and I'm just in Georgia, so I was kind of just shocked to be there. I'm just happy to be there. But this one was a lot more personalized. Got to really interact with more of the staff. Now that I've been around a couple of times, I kind of know everybody. They know me and my family. I mean, we walked around the whole morning without our name tags, and everybody knew who we were, and they knew sisters' names, parents' names. So it's getting to show like we're kind of getting comfortable within the program. So this is definitely one of the better visits I've had at Georgia.
Any feedback from the 3 princesses yet, Bro? Have they told you anything about this one? Have you guys get together and sit down after this? What's been the family feedback?
Yeah, they're ready to go see the dog again. They want to see the dog.
Did they see the bulldog, the live bulldog?
I don't know. They might have been inside when the bulldog came walking by, but they seen the hair like the mascot.
Yeah. They like that. How big of an asset is Coach Searles here for Georgia? Like, what's that relationship like between you guys?
Definitely. I have a good I would say I have a good relationship with Coach Searles. It's a little different from everybody else because he was one of the first coaches I met growing up. So 8th grade year, we went to UNC for like a summer camp with the team, like a team camp. And so back then I was playing tight end and defensive end, and he told me I was going to be a first round offensive tackle, and I didn't even do any offensive tackle things in middle school. So it was that was like his first statement to me, and he was the UNC coach. So I've known him for a very long time. Great guy, known for developing great offensive linemen. But I love him and his family. He loves my family, so it's a great bond with him. And then Coach Searles will call me just randomly, and honestly, he doesn't even talk about football all the time. It's kind of just how's school going, how's the week of preparation been going for Friday night and things like that. So just little things like that go a long way for recruit, honestly, I think. Because when you get coaches that kind of just call you every so often and just want to talk about football, it kind of gets boring because we can talk about football anytime. But when you have a coach that really is in depth with your personal life, I think that makes it a little bit better.
The one thing fans ask me about, they're like, David needs to put on weight. They're like, have you seen his dad? Like, I've been doing this for so long that I know that a lot of times the guys that succeed at Georgia have to have it mentally, have to have it focused, and then have to have all the talent in the world like you do. Like, how does Georgia talk to you about, hey, I think you're 265 right now. Do they have every confidence in the world that we're going to get you to 310 and you're still going to be a monster? Like, how does that go?
Yeah. I mean, Coach has been comparing me a lot to Broderick because he said Broderick came in maybe 275, 280, and Coach Smart doesn't seem to have a problem with it at all. He says he loves the way I'm doing as of right now and just keep putting it on the proper way. I think a lot of people are stressing this weight thing a little bit too much because, I mean, a lot of guys that are 330 pounds in high school, you can't really move well, can't bend at all. And then when they get to college, they have to do a whole year trying to get in shape and get in the weight program. But I feel like if I keep putting on weight the right way, I walk into college more ready than a person that's 330 pounds already because I'm putting it on the right way. The pure muscle is better than, having fat. But being in shape and being able to compete at the highest level, you'll be able to do whatever you need to do. And eventually you're going to get to 310. And then when you get to 310, it's going to be a scary sight.
I think Monroe was probably 295, 300 when he got to Georgia. So
he came in at 290.
Yeah. So that's kind of a goal.
And I think he's about 315, 320 now. So he's only been there for a couple months.
David, do you have any questions left about Georgia now? I don't know if you sit there leaving Athens going, okay, we might not come back until maybe January or the official. Like, do you have any more questions about Georgia, or did this one kind of seal most of them up?
This one kind of sealed most of them up. Obviously, as I talk to my family a little bit more, we'll have more questions that come up just as we get further and deep into the conversation of maybe going to Georgia, because this is obviously one of my favorite schools. So we'll have that conversation shortly, probably after the season, because I really want to just focus on school and focus on my personal high school team, us getting our three-peat. So after the season, we'll probably talk about it and go from there.
Any family feedback that they shared with you yet? Have you had that breakfast table conversation yet? What did everybody say?
Yeah, everybody loved it. I think the girls love it. They love being around Coach Smart. Just I think the personality he has matches with my family perfectly. Just because the girls love him and they interact with him well, and he interacts with them as well. My parents, and they got to talk to him a little bit more than usual. I think each and every visit we go on is getting deeper and deeper because it's getting closer and closer to hopefully committing soon. But I think he does a good job with just building that connection within the family. Going to it last time, they showed me that they wanted me, but they're focusing on their 2024 class and getting them settled. But now they're telling me I'm at the top of the food chain and that they need me and they want me to be a part of that program right away as soon as possible. So just having that feeling, knowing that a program such as Georgia wants you and needs you to be a part of their program just to make it better and to come and do your thing is a great feeling to have as a player, and definitely something you want to build off of.
Kind of a human being question here. When you're sitting in Kirby's office and the coach of the number one team in the country and the back-to-back national champions says you're a priority, says you're at the top of the food chain, what goes through your mind? Are you almost like, this is what we always talked about, but you save that for later? I mean, what's that like for you and your family?
Yeah, I mean, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Not everybody gets that, what I have been getting. So it's just nothing but a blessing for me and my family. I'm just grateful for all the opportunities that I've been given and just want to take advantage of it. But having that opportunity to talk to Coach Smart, I mean, you grow up watching him on TV and coaching these guys, slamming headsets and clipboards and everything else. And now you're really just sitting in there talking to him. It's just such a surreal moment, not only for me, but for my family as well.
David, I know this probably changes the more people you talk to, the more visits you have, but what's the single most important thing that you're looking for with your decision? And then how does Georgia meet that criteria?
Definitely, you want to go to a place, like I said from the beginning, that has a family atmosphere, that not only cares about you as a player and what you can do for them on the field, but how they treat you off the field and in their everyday life. Because, like my mom says, I'm going to be spending the most crucial years of my life with these coaches. So you don't want to be surrounded by someone that's going to feed you bad habits or give you this trait about yourself that you don't want to carry into the rest of your life. So you want to go in somewhere that has somebody that can teach you not only football, but personal life and self development. So that's first and foremost for me. A place that has quality education where I can go and get a great education. And then somewhere where I'm wanted, not only just plugged in as a number because you want to stack the roster, but someone that can go in and compete for a job and compete at the highest level. So Georgia checks all those boxes as of right now, and it's just a great place to be for sure.
What is Kyron and Chris, what do those people tell you about Georgia? What's their most important details they share with you?
Oh, just be ready to work. That's been their main motto, not only on the field but off the field. They come from private schools, so I was actually talking to them when I was at the game. They were like, the schoolwork isn't even the hardest part when they get there because you're kind of used to that, just coming from Providence Day and Charlotte Christian. So that wasn't a big deal for them. But just knowing how to compete at the highest level, you're going to get somebody just as good as you each and every play in practice. So it makes the games a lot easier.
David, appreciate you, man. Have a great week,
Yes,
man.
sir. I appreciate you. You have a great one.
Thanks, man.
All right.